Hey, what's going on, guys? Finally, we are back on the Omen franchise. We're going to go ahead and finish this one off with these next two films. Today, obviously, we're going to be looking at the remake that was released in 2006, The Omen, directed by John Moore. And this is the only film of John Moore's that I have seen. I have not watched the sequels to Die Hard yet. I know he did one of them, I think, Die Hard with a Vengeance. I haven't heard anything about that. That's the only other movie of his that I know of, really. He probably has done other stuff. I'm not really good at remembering what movies different directors have done. I'm horrible at remembering stuff like that. As much as I love movies, I'm literally so terrible at like remembering actors' names or like what different directors have done. Anyway, I went into this one pretty optimistic only because I haven't been a gigantic fan of the Omen franchise for a long time. I'm a newcomer. This review series that I've been doing is literally the first time I've seen all of these movies. I think the first one I watched like a week before I decided I wanted to review this series, and then I watched it again because it was just sitting on my brain for so like that whole week. I was like, I want to watch that movie again. There was something about it. I just wanted to watch it again, and that's what made me want to review the whole series. So this is a very new franchise to me, so the remake that I would usually go in optimistic with other franchises like Friday the 13th or Halloween, I was pretty optimistic with this one because I'm not like emotionally attached to the original, although I loved it. But I went in with an open mind, and although I do get the criticism, I didn't read any critics or any reviews till after I watched it, but they do talk about how similar it is. And I will say that it is very similar to the original, but I think it is a very good modern take on that classic movie, The Omen of 1976, I believe. And I didn't mind it at all. I thought the characters were great. You have Liev Schreiber in here, which I obviously know from Scream and some other things, and I thought he did amazing as the dad. Mia Farrow is in here, which is literally like one of my favorite actors of all time. I love Rosemary's Baby and some other stuff that she's done. So she did great in this one. The only performance that I really kind of had a problem with, which I know is very popular opinion in the community that talks about this movie, is the kid actor. And I don't know his name right off the top of my head, but I do agree with pretty much everyone else that talks about this movie that he is almost too creepy looking. Like, he is looking too creepy, and it makes it uncreepy. As in the original Omen, what was creepy about that kid is that he looked so normal, and he just looked like a sweet little kid, and he was doing these evil things. This kid, like every time you look at him, he's like scowling or just staring at the camera meanly, and it just makes it uncreepy. I mean, it just takes all of the fear factor out of just like a sweet little boy. It just makes him a creepy kid, and I don't know, it was something about that I didn't like the portrayal of it. It wasn't hideous, it didn't distract me too much. I still think it was pretty okay, it was watchable, but I do agree with pretty much everybody that the original kid was much creepier, and they didn't really relive up to that. And that's probably mostly because I think this movie was pretty rushed. I know that the release date of this movie was July 6th of 2006, so they really wanted to get that deadline set, and they rushed this movie to get it out on that date just because they knew it would obviously grow the box office. I'm not even sure if that worked or not. I haven't even really researched that. That was probably a consequence of rushing the movie and not being able to do their homework as much as they really should have, which is probably also why this movie was so much like the original, and they didn't really come up with anything too original besides really hyping it up. I love the preacher, or the Catholic priest. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I really liked the actor in this one. I thought he did amazing. I really liked that character. It's probably my favorite character of the movie. It was just kind of like the crazy priest, just like in the original, telling everybody, warning everyone, trying to warn the dad that Damien is evil and what he's about to do. I don't know why, but I think that character really worked better than in the original one for me. It just stood out. And when I watched the original, that character didn't really stand out to me like this one did in the remake for some reason. I don't know. But I really liked him. And overall, I just didn't hate this movie. I think that's the best way to put it. I would still rewatch this movie. Honestly, if I'm in an Omen mood, I would probably watch the original and maybe like the second one because I really liked that one. But I could see me throwing this one in as well. I mean, it depends if I'm in the mood for like a more modern looking movie, which is pretty rare, but sometimes I do get in those moods where I just want to see something more modern. I could see myself throwing this one on again, honestly, and having a pretty decent time with it. I think it's fun. I mean, yes, it's the same story as the original, but if you like that story, seeing it in a modern way, as long as you're not emotionally attached to the original, which a lot of people are, and I understand that. I'm not, so the fact that I just like this story and sometimes I would want to see it in a more modern looking way, I can enjoy it for that, and I have no problems with this movie, really, at all. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5 stars just because the only knockback would be that it is kind of a carbon copy and paste, although I think they did a little bit more original stuff than most people give it credit to. 3.5 is pretty good for me. It's an enjoyable film. It's a film that I liked. So it's not a bad rating at all. And let me know how many of you guys disagree with me, because that probably is a hot take. Pretty much everyone I see on like Letterboxd or anything is 2 stars or below on this movie. So let me know what you guys think about this film. Did you guys like it? Do you guys think it's just a carbon copy of the original like most people think, or do you see it from my angle as in it's kind of just a fun, enjoyable film? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Like this video if you guys are enjoying the Omen franchise, if you enjoyed it so far. Next, I'll be reviewing the first Omen, which I watched a while back when it came out on, I think it was Prime, whenever it came out on streaming. I didn't get the chance to watch it in theaters. I was really mad about that because the trailers hyped me up so much. They marketed that movie beautifully, and I wanted to see it in theaters, but I didn't get to. But I watched it on Prime or whatever it came out on, and I really liked it, but I feel like I need to rewatch it before I do a review. So stay tuned for that review. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.